Hi everybody and welcome to a new video. And in this video I'm going to be walking you through my 2026 fitness goals. And this year is going to be insane. I have set 4 different fitness goals that are covering the whole spectrum from strength until endurance. And I'm going to be doing all of that as a relative beginner to this type of training. And if you're wondering how I'm planning to reach all of these goals, check out my other video that I linked into the description down below. But without further ado, let's get into the goals. Now my first goal is running a half marathon in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And my current PB is 1 hour and 45 minutes. So that means that I need to reduce my time with around 50 minutes. The difficulty though is that I ran this PB around 2 years ago in my preparation for my marathon. So I think with a lot of consistency and hard work, this is definitely doable for me. So how am I planning to reach this goal? So currently I'm still a lot in my building phase. So what that means is that I'm running a lot in zone 2 work. So really low heart rate, slow pace, really building that strong foundation in order for me to go harder later in the year. So that means that currently I'm not doing a lot of speed work and I'm really focused on keeping that heart rate low and increasing the amount of kilometers that I run every week. But as of later in spring, I will start to include a lot of threshold work. Now what does threshold work mean? Threshold running aims to allow you to run at a faster pace for a longer period of time. So generally your threshold pace is the pace that you can maintain for around 60 minutes. And eventually I have to include those paces into my workout, for example in my long runs or in one of my shorter runs. It doesn't really matter how many times I do this per week, as long as I just get familiar with this pace and train that pace actually in order for me to maintain that pace for a longer period of time. So even though I do think 1 hour and 30 minutes for a half marathon is really fast, I do really think that it's possible for me to reach this goal. Now moving on to goal number 2. And goal number 2 is running and finishing an ultra trail. Now what is an ultra trail? An ultra trail is anything that is more than the regular marathon of 42.1 kilometers. And generally that starts at around 50 kilometers or more. And for this one, I'm really the most excited because I've been wanting to get more into trail running and running longer distances and being able to be more in nature while I'm running. I've been hiking a lot already in my life in mountains and in nature, and now I want to combine that with my passion for running as well. And I don't want to necessarily set a time to finish such an ultra trail, because my goal for this goal for 2026 is to really enjoy it as much as possible. So I haven't decided yet which one I'm going to do and also the distance that I'm going to do. I just know that I'm going to finish this ultra trail, regardless of the distance. And I think this one for me should be relatively easy because I've done a marathon before. So I know what it's like to run a longer distance. I just need to make sure that I get those distances in my training and then I'm sure that I'm able to finish an ultra marathon with relative ease. One thing that I'm a bit afraid of though is the elevation that comes with trail running. So I'm living in a very flat country where running in elevation is not really possible. So my legs are not necessarily accustomed to elevation while running, and especially for longer distances. So I will see how that goes. But in general, I'm super excited to be training for this and to be actually finishing an ultra trail somewhere in beautiful nature. So if you have any great recommendations for an ultra trail somewhere in Europe, I'll be super happy to hear, and let me know in the comments down below. Now moving on to goal number 3. And goal number 3 is where it becomes a bit more tough for me, because that is where my strength goals are coming in. And my strength goals for 2026 are like the holy grails in strength training. They are 100 kilo bench press and 140 kilo squat. Now being able to push 2 plates in a bench press and 3 plates in a squat is what like every strength athlete aims for. Now I have done this before in my life, but this was around 7 years ago when I was a student. And there I really was focused on building on that strength. So I was going to the gym around 6 times a week, really focused on heavy strength sessions around squatting and bench pressing. Now I'm doing it completely differently, because now I'm building this strength while also building my endurance. And this is something that I've never done before. So I'm very curious, but also a little bit frightened, to be honest, to see how that goes. The good thing though is that this is not necessarily linked to any sort of event. So I'll be slowly building this up by doing 2 strength sessions every week, focus on those squats and bench presses, and see how I progress over the months. During summer I'm gonna see how far I'm getting with this type of training, and then I'm gonna see if I need to apply more trainings dedicated to this, or whether I feel confident that I'll be able to reach this by the end of the year. Now, how am I doing this? As I said, I'll be training 2 times my strength per week, and I'll be applying progressive overload. Now, progressive overload means that you either increase the amount of repetitions or increase the amount of weight that you push per week. So for example, currently I'm at 6 repetitions for 60 kilos for the bench press, and then next week I will increase that to 8 repetitions for 60 kilos. And then the week after that, I will slightly increase the weight and go back to 6 repetitions. In this way, you're slowly building up the strength that you can push. Now, the goal that I'm by far the most scared for is my last goal, which is goal number 4. And my goal number 4 is finishing a high rocks under 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now, I know for some this might actually be very doable, and for some this might actually be extremely hard, but for me it's a super challenging goal. The reason for that is that I've never done a high rocks before. So going for a 115 high rocks is a very ambitious goal, but I'm also super excited to train for this, because I think high rocks is a very good indication of overall health and fitness. Now, luckily a very big part of a high rocks race is running, and I'm planning to get really good at running over the coming months. So that helps already a lot. But the stations that you need to do at high rocks, like a sled push or a sled pull, or for example the burpees, is something that I need to work on a lot. So how will I train for this? So for the coming weeks I'll be doing 2 high rocks dedicated sessions every week. Now the focus here is not to go all out every session, because I have a lot of volume planned for the coming weeks, but really slowly building up that intensity. I will have a lot of time for this, because I'm planning to do this high rocks at the end of this year somewhere in Europe. I haven't signed up to any high rocks race yet, but I will be keeping an eye out on any nice locations to do this race. So as I shared already in my last video, I already passed my 2nd week of my program, and that also means that I've been doing 2 weeks of high rocks already, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm surrounded by people that have similar fitness goals and are really motivated to push hard during the workout. So I'm really enjoying the high rock sessions that I'm doing. So I'm both very excited, but also a little bit afraid of this high rocks related fitness goal. So those were my 4 fitness goals for 2026. I'm really looking forward for training for all of these goals. It's going to be super challenging, but I'm very excited to train for this and to bring you along with this journey. So what can you expect for the coming weeks? I'll be filming a lot of these training sessions. I'll be going more into nature and filming more trail videos for you as well. And for the coming weeks, it's simple. I'm going to train a lot, but slowly building up that endurance and forming a very strong foundation. And later in spring, you can expect harder workouts and really long runs. So thank you all for watching. And if you want to follow this journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video as well. It will help me tremendously. So as always, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.